Hey guys, Maury here again. Um, Another question I get asked a lot is, what are my favorite cars? And you've all heard I've had a list, and I've been lucky enough to own over 200 cars. So a lot of cars, and I'm almost done with my list. There's still a few, but not very many. And I would have to say, if I had a top 10 list right this minute, I'll go through and tell you what I think they are. And again, most of you guys also know I'm a big BMW guy, so some of these are BMWs on my list, and I'll start with my E26 M1. I mean, it's such a cool car because you never see them. It drives. It's not hard to drive. You can see out of it. Sounds great. So that's got to be kind of at the top of my list. I always wanted one. It took me a long time to get it, but that's one on my list. And then my E30 race car. I mean, it's so much fun. I'm so bummed that it's going to be hard to take to the track anymore because of parts to get for it. But I did 20 years of tracking it a lot, and that's really one of my favorite cars on the BMW family. And then my E92 Stroker, that's also one of the most fun cars I've ever owned. A huge fun factor, sound, manual, everything. And then I've had Audis too. So I had one of the first RS4 Audis that came out really before the E92 M3, with the 4.2 liter V8, and that car was just unbelievable. I put a GMG exhaust, thanks James, sounded unbelievable. And then I got an R8 after that. Thanks again James for the GMG exhaust. It sounded unbelievable. One of the best sounding cars I've ever had. Again, you look back, wish I didn't sell them, but I sold them. And then you go to Porsches. I've had a few Porsches. I had a 96 993 twin turbo. That was really fun. Again, easy to drive, fast. I mean, just about everything. And then the wild one I have right now is a 930 turbo with a giant turbo and stuff. And it's just crazy when the turbo kicks on, just blast your head back at about 4,000 RPMs. So that's kind of on the fun side too, from the Porsche side. And then I've had lots of different cars that are just, again, fun and different. I had a VW 23 window bus that had a 140 horsepower crazy motor in it. It was drop down with Porsche wheels, brakes, spindles, and it looked exactly like a stock VW bus. I mean, it was really, really fun. And then another, just one of my favorite cars, was a 63 split window Corvette. It wasn't stock, it had side pipes, but it just sounded great, it drove great. If you've never driven an old Corvette, you got to drive it. It's amazing what they did on those cars. And then one of on my list, which again, the crazy side, was a big block 427 Cobra. Insane, loud and hot, and you name it. But I always wanted one, got it. It wasn't as user friendly as I thought, so I ended up selling it fairly recently. But again, amazing. You get these cars that you have to experience, that you look back and go, yep, I had one, drove it. Even if you just drive it, you don't even have to own it. I mean, these are cars that I'm never going to forget the experience that I've had. And moving forward, again, there's still a few on my list, and I'm working my way forward. I don't know if you guys know Gone in 60 Seconds, but I want to do an Eleanor car, a crazy Eleanor car. So that's on my list. I haven't built one yet, but I want to do it. And then a Gumball Rally, Daytona Spider. I've had the Cobra, but I want the Daytona Spider. So for you young bucks, you probably don't know what that movie is, but if you ever get to rent it, go rent it. It's pretty fun. So in any event, those are on my list, and hopefully you guys can work off your list and enjoy the car hobby as much as I have for the last 40 years. Talk to you soon. Bye.